What's up, guys? We're continuing the swim bait videos. We're talking about the Hudd 68. This is a Huddleston bait. It's the 6-inch bait, but it has the tail from the 8-inch. Ken Huddleston is a guy that's been designing swim baits. This is kind of his bread and butter, these kind of large, soft swim baits. The 8-inch is probably the most well-known, and he had an 8-inch and a 6-inch, and then what guys were doing, they were taking the tail off of the 8-inch and then putting it on the 6-inch. They were cutting it off and then gluing it on there. So he basically came out with this bait, the Hudd 68 Special. He just saved you the trouble, put the tail on there. So that's going to give you a little extra thumping action. Let's see, this is a rate of fall 5. This is a 2-ounce bait. Rate of fall 12 is 2 1/3 ounce. They're 6 inches. One thing about Ken Huddleston, he's very big on a natural looking bait, both in its appearance and the swimming action. That's something that he believes is pretty crucial to getting a big bass to bite, is just having a very natural looking and natural moving bait. If you look on the back of the tail, might not show up on the video, it's his little logo on there. I'm not sure you can see that, it's kind of light. But if you've ever seen Southern Trout Eaters, it's an excellent DVD if you're looking to get into fishing big baits. Highly recommended. But there's a really great interview in there with Ken Huddleston, and he kind of tells you his philosophy, not just about these baits, but just his general philosophy about fishing. And when you understand that, it really comes through in the way that he designs these baits. Is especially the whole, looking natural and being natural. It's very important to the way that he does these. So it's got this one big jig style hook on it, and when I was looking at these baits, you see all these different rigging techniques, especially with the 8-inch one, where guys are putting, they're cutting this hook off, they're putting a big 1/0 treble, or they're putting stinger hooks on it. But everything that I read about the Hudd 68 basically just says, roll it with the stock hook. So that's what I've been doing. You don't really have to get into that rigging stuff until you move up to the 8-inch baits. But the Hudd 68 Special works just fine with the stock hook. So, as soon as you pick up, one of these in the package, just take it out, tie it on, you're good to go. Let's see, that's a black gizzard shad, and these other two are green gizzard shad, and very nice little color scheme on there. Definitely a natural, very realistic looking bait. It feels good. The plastic is, it's pretty strong. It feels, feels real, feels lifelike. When the fish gets this in its mouth, it's not like a hard bait where it's going to immediately think that it's not real. Bass will choke these things generally head first, and being plastic, they're going to get torn up a little bit. These are obviously cheaper than the hard swim baits, but it's plastic, it's not going to last forever. But if you do pick these up, it's a good idea to get you something like Mend It, or something that you can kind of repair some of the teeth marks. As you can tell, this bait is brand new. I've only fished it a few times, and being that it's dead of summer right here, and the only thing I can get bid on is the Texas Rig Cinco right now, so I haven't gotten any hits on this just yet. As I mentioned in my other, or in my first swim bait video, I'm really going to be fishing these a lot this fall. So part 2 of these swim bait videos is hopefully going to be some on the water action, and we'll hope to get some video footage of some big bass hitting these things. But right now I'm just running down some of the swim baits I've picked up and just kind of giving you guys a nice up close look at these things if you're interested in buying one, just so you can see kind of what they look like. I don't have any swimming action footage of this one because I kind of like to fish this thing closer to the bottom or right on the bottom, kind of moving it along there. But I can tell you that it's, as I mentioned before, nice natural action to it, and this tail it's got a little kick to it. But it looks really good in the water, and I can imagine this thing, crawling along the bottom would be an excellent meal for a big bass. So if you guys are looking to get into big swim baits, you have to get a Huddleston, whether it's the 8-inch, the 6-inch, or the 68 special. They're just a staple at any swim bait fisherman's arsenal. I've got this one tied onto my rods, the one I've probably going to be using the most. I'm running a Kuma Guide Select rod here. Can't even remember the model on this thing here. Go ahead and run that down while I'm holding it in my hand here. 7'6", and lure weight 1 to 5 ounces. Pretty solid swim bait rod, and it's pretty cheap too. It's a great way to get into it. I've got my deep cranking reel on it right now because I don't have a designated swim bait reel. This is just a Revo or a winch. It's got the extra line capacity, and it's got some pretty tough gears, so that's what I'm running it with right now. But yeah, if you guys are looking to get into big baits, you've got to check out the Huddleston's Hudd 68 Special. It's a great one to start with, and as I mentioned before, no messing around with rigging. Take it out of the package, tie it on, and get you some strong line. This is P-Line CXX. It's a very strong copolymer, and it's cheap. So get a setup, go pick up a Huddleston, tie it on, and go catch some big bass.